Okay, I'm going to record this again, and hopefully this time I'm fully behind the green screen so my head doesn't disappear. Anyway, okay, we're going to begin. Okay, this is your much awaited and anticipated pronunciation guide. We are going to start by talking about places in the current world and make sure we get those pronunciations down. There's a city in Bosnia, Sarajevo. It starts with an A. There's one in North Korea, Pyongyang. Now we'll go over the Middle Eastern ones. There's Zala, Z-A-H-L-E. That's in Lebanon. Beirut is in Lebanon. Let me think. In Libya, there's Wadin, W-A-D-D-I-N. In Sabah, S-A-B-H-A. And those are the ones from our current world I think we were having issues with. If you have any questions about how to pronounce anyone's name, feel free to ask. There's other, now let's go to the new universe places. The one that you're going to encounter the most is Preganesia, P-R-E-G-A-N-E-S-I-A. And on Preganesia, there are some cities. There's Opajaz, there's Helik, there's the city Vendel, there's a species of sentient creatures called Miratau. Horses are Hutors, their version of horses. They have a buffalo-like creature called the Preho. And inside of Preganesia, there's the plains of Garon. There's the cliffs of eternity. There's the Heletian mountain range that go into the endless mountains and the forbidden northern forest. There's a place called there's a place in the northern. You probably won't ever encounter this, but this is just for your knowledge. There's a place in the northern forest called Knowledge Point. That's translated, obviously. It's where a ship crashed, according to legend, thousands and thousands of years ago. Anyway, moving right along, also from Preganesia are the Vendels, V-E-N-D-E-L, and the people who follow that house are Vendelian. Their first king's name was Bastar. And another clan from Preganesia is the Uvaks, W-V-A-K. Then we go to the Pregan family, P-R-G-A-N. The first king after the Reformation was Zaldoday the Invincible, Z-A-L-D-O-D-A-Y. His fifth grandson was Jodan the Wise, J-H-O-D-A-N. A lot of kings of Preganesia, or Kayaks, K-A-A-K, K-I-A-K, share those names. There's another name that's very prominent in Preganesia, and that is the Lekan clan, L-A-K-A-N. There's also the Millards, not Milliards, M-A-M-I-L-L-I-A-R-A-D. That's pronounced Millards. And let me think. A very common first name for Preganesian males is Grek. Now let's go over the different parts of the royal family. There's the Kayak, who's the king. The queen is the Kayaka, with an A at the end. The son would be a Kayakan, K-I-A-K-A-N, and a princess would be Kayakana, K-I-A-K-A-N-A. We're probably not going to get into any of that, but that's just for your own knowledge about those different parts of the Preganesian family. Another um, common Pregnesia first name is Caradel, Karredel. Pregnesia, when it's a very harsh, is a good word for it, language. A lot you don't see you don't see CK very often in Pregnesia. It's K. Like if they spell duck, it would be DUK. Um, moving along, we've mentioned the Vendelians. They moved off. We mentioned the Miratau. Um, before we move on to other planets, we're what were we going to do? Before we move on the planets, we're going to talk about species. They're the Laratifians, the Optians, the Tropians, and with that, we're going to move on to the interesting history of Kita, the planet. It was originally named Dorosia. It was a Pregnesian ship crashed there, and one of the people on the ship's name was Kita. The Pregnesians would pronounce that Kiata, but no one else does. So if your character is a Vendelian, a Pregnesian, or Uvak, they pronounce that Kiata. Everyone else pronounces it Kita because that's how they pronounced it on Dorosia when it crashed. And that was the name of the planet originally, but after Kita took over, the planet took on his name. And the people who live there are Ketans. A lot of times when people refer to CRSS, they'll refer to anyone in the CRSS as a Ketan, the same way we would refer to anyone who was in the Soviet Union as a Russian. More or less, it's identifying them by the prominent culture inside of that. Another species, moving along, is the Dercore, and I just moved out of the green screen, so I'll probably post this without changing the background, but in the future I'll try to stay still. They're the reptilian species, the Dercore. There's a feline species, which is pronounced felinus. We mentioned the Optians, the Tropians, the Tropians. That can go either way. Optians, let me think. Oh, there's another society, the Guidans. They're an amphibious water-breathing culture. It's just pronounced Guidans. And now let's move into some other things. There's different planets. There's Terrier, Jorad, Dirtson. You think of other planets. Sebastia is a planet. That's a refuge planet for the Miratau. Let me think. Moving along, trying to think of other places. The planet in the Pregnesia system that we hear constant references to is Arachdel, and I noticed that I'm moving out of the green screen again, but I'm going to reposition my camera before my next video. But I'm trying to think of other words and how they would be pronounced. I think we have a lot that we've already covered here. Oh, inside of the squadron, there's some people with alien names. There's Duran, D-E-R-R-O-N, Grozi, G-R-O-Z-I, and that's pretty much, there's a lot of references in episode 8 specifically to Pinky Tuscadero. That's a Happy Days reference. I invite you to look that up. And also in that episode, there's reference to the Malachi Crunch, which goes right into another Happy Days reference. People who are Gen Xers, you should get those references, and if you don't, you needed to watch more TV. Moving along, there's a senator whose name is Priderak. Priderak. That's a Russian word. If you go to a Google Translate Russian to English, you can figure out what it means if you spell it in. It's P-R-I-D-O-R-U-K, or no, I just spelled it wrong. It shows you how messed up I am. It's P-R-I-D-U. Okay, it's really late. P-R-I-D-U-R-O-K. Priderock. So just go ahead and take a look if you're interested about what that means. Anyway, so that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm going to try to real briefly do the chroma on this. We'll see if I can make it work because I keep moving my head around and past the green screen. I'm going to reposition the green screen, but anyway, everyone have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.